Hello, beautiful yogis. Ashley here, and welcome to day 68 of the 75 Hard Yoga Challenge. All right, now in today's full body mobility yoga flow, we're gonna improve our mobility, flexibility, and our joint health through slow, controlled movement. So we're gonna move through the entire body today, really opening up the hips, shoulders, the spine, the hamstrings, and the ankles, while also building strength, stability, and control throughout your range of motion to really help you move and feel better both on and off the mat. So you probably won't need any props for this one, but definitely feel free to have a couple yoga blocks nearby if you'd like that extra support. And as always, just listen to your body, take any modifications that you need, and really focus on moving with control rather than forcing yourself into these deeper stretches. So, all right, now go ahead and roll out your mat and let's get into it. Let's go ahead and all meet on our back. We're going to get started with a little conscious breaths. Go ahead and find your Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet together. Let those knees fall out to the side. You can let your hands rest to your side, palms face up, or you can rest them to your belly, whatever feels good. And let's just take a moment to just breathe. Feel the belly rise and fall on your inhales. And feel the support of the mat beneath you. And just feel your body starting to let some of the tension go from the day. Just creating a slight moment of peace here. Let's take 2 more breaths, breathing in and out. Let's take another deep breath and out. And from this place, before we get started, let's just set an intention for our practice today. So what has brought you to your mat, or what are you looking to cultivate in this short time that we have together? And once you've set your intention for your practice today, let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And a big sigh. Out. Wonderful job. Let's go ahead and assist those knees together. And then draw those knees into the chest. You can keep your eyes closed or gently begin to blink them open. I like to keep mine closed here just to keep allowing myself to ground down into my practice. So it's really whatever is your preference here. But just rocking side to side, let's take a moment to massage that lower back. And then on the exhale, here you can always go ahead and open up the eyes. Let's drop those feet down. Taking that right ankle over the left knee, push. Feeling that hip open up just a little bit, little pressure in that hip joint. Create some space. Deep inhale, and on that exhale, let's take that figure 4. So we're gonna draw that left knee towards the chest, walking that hand through that little hole space here, grabbing the front of the knee or behind the knee. You can rock side to side. Little ankle circles here on that left side. You can rock side to side to go ahead and keep massaging that lower back a little bit. All right, whatever direction you're moving with the ankle, let's switch those directions. Wonderful job. And then on your exhale, squeeze it in a little bit deeper. And then on your exhale, drop it down. Grabbing hold of the big toe with the peace fingers on the right side. Let's just go ahead and straighten that right leg. See if you can lead with the heel here towards the ceiling. Stretching out that calf and hamstring. Now this bottom leg can stay bent if you'd like it to, or we're gonna go ahead and straighten it. Now see if you can pull that shoulder down towards the socket. That's gonna pull a little bit more on that ankle, a little bit more on the calf and the hamstring. But even if you can't get it all the way down where it needs to be, just see if you can kind of engage that shoulder a little bit. This is gonna give you a little bit better hold. Inhale, and then on your exhale, let's just start to push that toe down like you're pushing on a pedal And then exhale, release it. Inhale and exhale, push the pedal and bring the toe back towards the shin. Let's do that one more time. Press that pedal down and exhale, pull that toe towards the shin. Inhale and then exhale, release the bind, draw that right knee into the chest. Maybe flex the left toes towards the shin so you can get a little flatter leg here for a deeper hip flexor stretch. And then let's draw some circles. Perfect. And then exhale, draw that knee back into the chest. And then the left knee is going to come into the chest to follow. And then drop the feet down, taking left ankle over right knee push. Feel that little pressure in the hip. Inhale and then exhale, take that figure four stretch. Rock side to side. Let's get some ankle circles in on that right leg. Keep breathing, focusing your attention solely on the body and the breath. So we're really spending a lot of time focusing on releasing and letting go today. Let all that tension begin to melt from the body. And just see if you can keep going a little deeper with each exhale. All right, let's switch directions if you haven't already with that ankle. And then inhale, squeeze it in a little more. And on the exhale, go ahead and drop that foot down on the right side. All right, reaching for the big toes on that left side with the peace fingers. Start to straighten that leg towards the ceiling, leading with your heel. Go ahead and activate that shoulder. So pulling it back, feeling the stretch in the hamstring and calf. And then if you would like to keep this knee bent, go ahead and keep that bent, or we're going to start to straighten it. And you can have a slight bend in the knee. Try not to overdo it or force it or use so much effort. All right, keep pulling the toes back towards the shin. All right. And then now inhale, push that pedal, resist it with this left hand here. And then on your exhale, pull the toes back towards the shin a little more. Feel that little deeper stretch in the hamstring and calf. And then inhale, push that pedal, and then exhale, let the toes come back towards the shins. Let's do that one more time. Push the pedal, inhale. And exhale. Woo-hoo. I don't know about you, but this side's taking my breath away. Wonderful. Inhale, and then on the exhale, go ahead and release the toe. Draw that knee in towards the chest. See if you can bring the toes on the right side towards your shin. Maybe that calf touches on that right side. And draw that left knee deep in towards your chest. Maybe drawing some circles here with that knee. All right, and then on the exhale, draw both knees in towards the chest. Now just dropping those feet down. Let's take those feet out wide. Let the knees start to knock in towards each other. Now we're gonna take some windshield wipers. So now we're just gonna let that right knee fall in, left knee fall out. Feeling that stretch and that internal and external rotation of the hip. Inhale and then switch the side. So your hands can really be wherever you want. Let them be anchors. And exhale, switch. Just take this moment to dive in, feel the sensations, be present with the body, feel it start to release some tension with each breath. Creating a little more space in the body and mind. All right. Wonderful job. Let's take one more each side. Last one this side. Last one on this side. Perfect. And then walk those feet in. All right. Heels are slightly underneath those hips. Or if your feet need to come wider, you can. We're going to take some bridge rolls here. So walking those heels in, place the hands down or palms face down. Kind of roll the shoulders back so the heart is open, the chest is open. Tuck your tail, lift your hips nice and high. Keep pushing back towards your shoulders with your heels. And then now tucking the tail, we come down to a flat back. Feel the engagement of the pelvic floor, belly button to spine. Inhale and then exhale. Take it up, push back towards the shoulders. Inhale, roll it back down. And up. And down. Maybe release the spine here, tuck the tail. So we can get a full roll here. Tuck it under, pick it up. Push back. Inhale, lower it down, tucking the tail deeply under. Release the tail, tilt it forward, arch in the spine. Flatten the back. Tuck the tail under, lift the hips. And then start to tuck the tail under on the way down. And then release the hips, tilting them forward, arching the back. Two more, flatten the spine, lift the hips, send it back. Tuck the tail under, flatten the spine, release the pelvis, arch the spine. All right, one more time just like that. Lift and tuck and release. Wonderful. You know what? Let's do one more. Tuck it under, flatten, lift. Tuck it under, flatten, roll it through, arch. Perfect. Flatten the spine. All right, let's go ahead, draw those knees in towards the chest, crossing those ankles, rolling it up. Like we're going to find our way into our tabletop. So however you want to get there, whatever you want to do, we'll all meet in table. All right, let's take 4 cat-cows, start to push the floor away and peel that heart. That's 1, exhale, push, and peel, that's 2. And again, really exaggerate pushing the floor away. And really arching the spine, feeling that stretch right where the abdominal, or right where the rib cage starts to split. And exhale. Inhale through. Exhale under. Wonderful job. All right, let's take a couple little scapular push-ups here just to work through range in the shoulders. So here we're going to let the chest fall through. So you're not bending your elbows here. The arms are straight. We're moving the shoulder blades. So bring shoulder blades together and then push them away, really widening that upper back. And then exhale, we settle in. Inhale, we push. And we settle. And we push. Settle, push, settle, push. Keep your tail tucked under, your pelvic floor is engaged here. And push, let's take one more. And push. Wonderful job. Right hand plants, let's thread that needle, left arm stack, reach. Inhale and then exhale, walk that left hand behind the right, walk it out. And settle the head, shoulder down, push. 2. We got 5 breaths here. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come back to that starting point, open it up, see how far you've come. Exhale, take it down. All right, we're gonna switch those sides, right arm up. Really open up in your twist on the exhale, take that right hand behind the left. Walk that left hand out, slide that right arm through, drop head, shoulder down. Push with that left hand, looking over that left shoulder. Deepen through your twist. That's 2. That's 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come back to start. See how far you've come. Inhale and exhale, take it down. 1 cat-cow push. And peel through. Perfect. All right, let's take some puppy pose pulses here. So let's go ahead and walk those knees back just a little bit. Walk those hands slightly forward, keeping the hips high, stacking knees and hips, and then finding puppy pose. All right, now let's go through some little pulses here before we go too deep into our puppy. So we're going to lift, rolling through the upper back, and then exhale, come back down. We're doing 5 of those. That's 1. Inhale, so tuck the tail, round through the spine. Exhale, untuck the tail, drop the forehead down. That's 2. Inhale, up. Exhale, down for 3. Inhale, up. Exhale, down for 4. You could already probably start to feel a little deepening of the puppy pose. 1 more. Up and back. Now settle deeply into your puppy. And then slither it right on through into your Sphinx pose, opening up that back body. Peel through. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Really press the tops of the feet into the mat so much that the knees start to lift. And then exhale, push into the hands, elbows out to the side. Let each vertebrae start to stack. Curl those toes under. Hands to the outside of the chest, roll the shoulders back, tuck your tail. Push up, push it back. Child's pose. Rest for just a breath or 2. Offsetting that back bend we just did. And then on the exhale, find that tabletop. Tabletop hovers, so hands are going to be down, curl the toes. Push the floor away, let those knees hover. Inhale and then exhale, start to press the belly to the top of the thighs. Keeping the gaze towards those toes, start to straighten the legs, maybe take the gaze towards the belly button. Wrapping those armpits under, pressing through your middle finger and thumb. Let's just begin to pedal out the dog here. Stretching one side at a time. Take your time here. Really letting the body start to open. And then now inhale, pick up that right leg, find your 3-legged dog. And now let's move into that low lunge, knee into chest, foot between the hands. Drop that back knee, peel your heart. Settle the hip. So this is where maybe you might want a set of blocks for today's practice, or a set of books, something to just elevate the floor. But if not, that's okay too. All right, wonderful. And then raise those fingers. We rise it on up, high, low lunge. Inhale, and then left arm forward, right arm back. Gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale, and then exhale. Plant that left hand down, spiral open. Inhale, and then exhale. Bring that right hand to the top of that right knee. Walk that foot out as wide as your mat. Releasing back toes on the left side. Expose the sole of the foot. Look over your right shoulder. So we're deepening into our lunge here. And then inhale, come through to center, hands plant to the inside of the foot. You're going to keep that sole of the foot exposed or seal that gap. We're going to come down into lizard pose here. So really find your depth of whatever feels right for your body. And then inhale, come right back on up. Exhale, go ahead and lean forward, back knee floats. Stepping back foot forward. Let's take a malasana here. Yogi squat, settle in, opening up through the ankles. Keep pushing those knees away with those elbows and breathe. Bringing your awareness to your body, noticing the sensations, maybe even consciously invite your body to let go and release. And then on your exhale, plant your hands, lean forward, start to straighten those legs. Inhale, take your halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, take that left foot, step it back, drop that back knee, and then shifting the hips back. Now you can walk those hands back, keep the toes pointed if you would like the top of the foot stretch, or bring those toes towards the shin if you want a little bit of a different type of stretch. So either one is going to kind of work through the ankle. You can even kind of do a little bit of rocking forward and back to begin working on some of the mobility of that ankle if you find the pointed toe is a bit much. So just explore your own body. All right. And then inhale, curl the back toes if they're not already. We rise it on up. Exhale, reach for that left heel with that left hand. Pelvis forward, heart lifts, maybe gaze to your palm. Little balance, but feel the top of the quad start to stretch. Inhale, and then exhale, start to bend that front knee, coming back into that lunge, that low lunge. Lean forward, let the back knee float, and then step it on back, finding downward dog. Pedal out the dog here. Moving a little slower today. I want you to really connect to your body and to your breath. And it's harder when we're moving faster through the poses and we're not really taking time to connect. So today is a little bit slower, so we can really work on lengthening the body, not only physically, but consciously and with awareness. So each stretch, each sensation, really draw deep awareness to those spaces. And that also brings you into the present moment. All right, let's make our way into the other side. Picking up that left leg nice and high, knee into the chest, foot between the hands. Find your lunge. Inhale, start to peel your heart. Settle in. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back, gaze over that left shoulder. Inhale, and on your exhale, plant the right hand, stretch that left arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale, bring the hands to the inside of the foot, heel toe that foot out as wide as your mat. Planting that left hand to the knee, push that knee away, exposing the sole of the foot, looking over left shoulder, deep and through. Almost there, 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And exhale, come back through. Either keep that sole of the foot exposed or seal that gap. We're gonna find that lizard lunge, drop those elbows if you have the space. If you find that you're really forcing your way down or you're using a lot of effort, then you're pushing yourself too far. So I want you to come back just a notch until you find a spot that you can comfortably start to release and breathe into the body without clenching and holding so tightly. We always want to guide and encourage the body, never force or fight. Perfect. All right, inhale, let's come back up. If you haven't already, seal that gap with that foot, lean forward, let the back knee float, stepping back foot forward, taking your malasana one more time, settle in. 4 and 5. Inhale, plant the hands, start to straighten those legs, take a little ragdoll, pull down. And then maybe start to draw this figure 8 with those elbows. And then on the exhale, plant those hands, take a halfway lift. Inhale and exhale. Take that left foot or right foot, step it back, Find your lunge yet again. Inhale, and then exhale. Start to shift those hips back, straighten the leg, point the toe. Maybe you do those heel toe or the heel rotation. So we're just bringing the toe towards the shin and pointing the toe to work on that ankle mobility and calf. Or you do a static hold. Choice is yours. And just enjoy your stretch. Perfect. Keeping the back toes curled under if they're not already, we're going to rise it on up, reaching back for that back heel, heart lift. Inhale and exhale, start to bend through that front knee, come forward. Inhale, pick up that back knee, back front foot steps back. This time, let's take a chaturanga. You can drop the knees for this one for modified or stay on your toes, lean forward, elbows straight back. Rise it up, little baby cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward dog. Coming back to pedal out that dog. Perfect. And then inhale, gaze between those hands. Let's slowly start to walk those feet forward. Take a halfway lift. Inhale and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Slight bend in the knees, round it through the shoulders, rise it to the top. And Samastitihi, roll the shoulders back. All right, inhale, bring those hands into your heart center, right leg steps back, crescent pose, rise. Open it up for your warrior two. Settle into your warrior as you reverse your warrior. Reaching that back arm down the back leg. Maybe wrapping it around your lower back. Inhale, warrior two. Into humble warrior, interlace the fingers back behind you. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise it on up. Lift the arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, warrior two. And then take a Trikonasana. So you might have to heel toe that back foot in just a little bit, finding Trikonasana. So here we want to really try to open up the hips, pulling open, stacking shoulders, stacking hips, rather than let the hips kick out to the side. So wrap it around to the front, peel it open. Exhale, reverse your Trikonasana. Whoop. Inhale, warrior two, into star. Exhale, hands to the hips. Let's take Prasarita, so pulling that mat apart. Inhale and exhale, fold. So really pulling that mat apart with those feet. Feel the engagement along the inner thighs here. Shoulders are pulling back towards each other, so elbows coming in towards each other, heart is open. And then pull that mat apart. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, Skandasana to the right side. Settle in, plant the hands. Let those left toes spiral towards the ceiling. Now maybe we drop an elbow down, get a little deeper into your Skandasana. All right, now using that control through our range of motion, let's see if we can shift it over without using your hands to the floor. If you have to, use your hands, but let's see if we can control it using those deep groin muscles. Send it over to the side, switch. Open it up. Maybe get a little deeper, dropping elbows down. And then exhale, control it to center, plant your hands and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the mat apart, hands to the hips, rise it to the top. Rise it all the way up into star. Taking warrior two facing the back of your mat, settle into warrior two, gaze over that middle finger. So let's get low here. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, reverse the palm, reverse the warrior. Maybe taking that back arm, wrapping it around the lower back for a deeper stretch. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, interlace those fingers. Take your humble warrior, go down. Opening up your heart. Pull the mat apart with those feet. Rise it all the way up, reach towards the ceiling. Exhale, warrior two. Right into Trikonasana. So heel toe that back foot a little bit to give yourself a good distance for Trikonasana. Hand can come down or reach for the toes. Remember, we don't want to kick that hip out to get a hold of the toe. Wrap that hip forward, and if you have access to the big toe, then you can take that big toe. If not, then stay where you are. Maybe it's a little higher. Inhale and exhale, reverse that warrior, or reverse that Trikonasana. Inhale and exhale, warrior two into star. Hands to the hips. Prasarita, pull the mat apart, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release the hands, fold a little deeper. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, turn those toes, settle into Skandasana. We're not going to stay here for too long. Inhale and then control it over to the other side. Skandasana. Whoop, if you lose it, you lose it. Get right back up. All right, see if you can control it back on over. Now this time we're just going to take a little lunge. Inhale and then exhale, step it back. Quick vinyasa, lower down. Up dog. And downward dog. Perfect. Inhale, take your gaze between your hands, step, walk, or jump to Malasana, yogi squat. Settle down. Can kind of rock a little bit here. We're going getting into the depth of the hips. All right, we're going to start making our way down onto the floor here. So placing one hand in front, one hand in the back, or control through the pelvic floor, reaching hand forward for counterbalance. Come on down and place the hands. All right, we're going to find a 90 degrees. Okay, so we're going to take that 90 degrees with that front leg, swing the back leg around. Let's start on the right side so I can show you a little bit better. So finding 90 degrees with that front leg. So 90 degrees just means 90 degrees from the knee and ankle, from the hip, okay? So it has nothing to do with this back leg. And then you're going to find another correlation here, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Foot is flexed, okay? We're going to do some little 90-90 switches. So we're working on that hip mobility before we hold the stretch. All right, so the hands can come into your center. They can be in prayer or however you feel comfortable. Or if you need the hands for assistance, you can bring them down. All right, so we're just going to rotate, switch it to the other side. Sit up tall, feel the stretch and that hip. Inhale, and then exhale, we switch. Pause, inhale, on your exhale, switch. Inhale and exhale, switch. Inhale and exhale, switch. I don't know about you, I'm kind of inching my way forward. And switch. If you're kind of moving forward, you can adjust yourself or keep going. All right, inhale and exhale, switch. All right, we're gonna make our way back to that starting leg and then find a stretch. So here, so again, keeping that 90 degrees. This back leg, if you want a deeper stretch, you're just gonna send that back leg back a little more. So a deeper slope on that front leg, keeping that 90 angle in that knee joint. Inhale and then exhale, we lean forward. So it's kind of like a pigeon pose. And settle down. And then inhale, come up, reaching that left arm up and over. Now we're going to anchor that knee down, sending the hip forward, reach back behind you. Feel the stretch all along the front here. So you're still trying to anchor that hip down. 2 and 3. Coming back into center, let's do that little rotation over to the other side. This time we hold. So lean forward, find your stretch. Again, you can walk that back leg back for a deeper stretch. All right, perfect. Inhale, so reach that top arm, that right arm up and over, anchor knee down, send pelvis forward. Reach, lifting the heart open and hold it. Breathe. One more breath. And then exhale, we come on out and come back to start. And then let's just come back to the front of our mat. All right, taking Janu Shusasana. So straighten that left leg, right leg is gonna come out to the side. I'm gonna turn and face you here. So we're gonna walk that heel in as close to the groin as you can possibly get it. Think of almost like that seated um, tree pose. Toes towards the shin, inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Making sure that you're keeping those toes active towards the shin, but you're still creating a little space with the knee, so we don't want to lock that knee joint out here. And then maybe flattening out the spine instead of rounding the back. Notice what happens when you flatten your spine rather than rounding it for this one. And then reach it forward, rise it to the top, and then switching sides, drawing left knee in, heel in as close as to the groin as you can get it. Keep that knee gap sealed. Reaching toe towards the shins, inhale, rise, exhale, fold. Now, if you want to take Janu Shusasana B or C, you're also welcome to do a deeper variation if your body feels like it's giving you the green light. All right, reaching forward, rise it to the top. Go ahead and straighten that leg and bring it right on down. All right, so moving into our next stretch, just draw that left knee in towards the chest here, and then crossing that ankle over that right knee. Now, either stay here, lean forward. So we're doing compass pose prep here. All right, so we're working deep rotation of the hips. So you can lean forward here, stay in your figure 4, working through your hip that way. Otherwise, we're gonna grab through that little hole there and then reach it on up, squeeze it in, or hook that elbow crease to the arch of the foot, pull in, hug. All right, now we're just rocking side to side here, cradling our baby. All right. Now this is a pretty deep stretch, so you might want to just stay here. Otherwise, you can follow me. We'll explore a little deeper pose or a little bit deeper expression of that compass pose. So taking the hand under, we're going to grab the arch of the foot, send that knee back, and then grab the hold of that calf so you can really get the back of the knee onto the shoulder. Push it back. That's going to create the space. So if you have good space, if you're here and it feels pretty good, then just grab the outside of the foot and then deep rotation of the shoulder, start to open up that leg. And then exhale, we come out, come back to cradle, and exhale, set it down. Awesome job. All right, let's move into the next side. Left knee or right knee comes in, crosses over the left leg. figure 4, rest, or we go right on into that cradle. Find your version, whichever one, and rock it side to side. Now you might notice too that one side is going to be a little easier for you with this pose than the other. So if that's the case, don't worry too much about it. Just meet yourself there, explore, try, and just honor whatever you get to today. All right. Now if you want to take it a little deeper, we're going to try and get that knee on the back of the shoulder, send it back, walk it through, open it up, and maybe we start to straighten. Ooh, this leg does not want to go today. And exhale, come back out, find your cradle. Inhale and exhale. We come out. Wonderful job. All right, let's make our way onto our back. Finish out the practice. Knees into the chest, rock side to side. Let's do a couple little circles here. Switch directions. Perfect. And then on your exhale, let's take a happy baby, grabbing the arches of the feet, push the knees down. Inhale, maybe grabbing a hold of the big toes, straightening the legs here. Inhale and exhale, assist those feet together, drop or bring those knees in towards the chest, drop those feet, crossing right ankle over that left knee. Goalpost or tee the arms, pick up the hips, shift them to the right, knees drop to the left, gaze over your right shoulder. We aren't going to stay here for too long today. Then exhale, squeeze it back to center. Let's just switch those sides. Cross the left ankle or left leg over that right. Pick up the hips, shift them to the left, knees drop to the right. Gaze over that left shoulder. And then squeeze it back to center. Inhale, pick up those hips. Give yourself a big hug here. Maybe practice that self-love and tell yourself something nice. Fill up that cup instead of waiting for someone else to come and fill it for you. All right, rock side to side. Give that lower back a little bit of a stretch. All right, inhale, go ahead and release those feet down. Tuck your pelvis under, so deep tuck of the pelvis, so a real flat spine here. This is going to help take some tension off that lower back in Shavasana, or if you would like to place something underneath your hips there, you're welcome to do that too. Let your hands rest to your side. Keep the tail tucked under deeply. Straighten your legs. And then on the exhale, let the feet fall to the side and start to melt into your Shavasana. Pick up your head, tuck your chin, rest. Create space in the shoulders. Take a deep breath. And a big sigh out. Enjoy your Shavasana. Now, if you like a longer Shavasana, you're more than welcome to press pause. Otherwise, wherever you've begun to drift off to, let's begin to wiggle those fingers and toes. Rolling the wrists and ankles. Bending the knees and elbows. And then rolling over onto your favorite side, just taking a moment to rest. Your head on your arm like a pillow. Softening into the new shape. And then whenever you're ready, extend that top leg. Using the top arm to press yourself to a nice, comfortable seated position. Try to keep your eyes closed so you don't disturb that peace. Bringing those hands to the knees, but let the palms rest up for that mudra of receiving. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Spine is long, chin is tucked. Gently tucked. Reaching the crown up towards the ceiling, lengthening out of the pelvic bowl. Let's take a deep breath in. And a big sigh out. Let's take another deep breath for our nervous system. And a big sigh out. Take a moment to notice the difference, the subtle shifts and changes in your body and mind. Maybe you can already feel the space that you've created in your practice today. And now from this place of awareness, bring your hands to your heart center. And let's set the intentions for the rest of our day. So what are you carrying with you from your practice today? And once you've set your intention for the day, go ahead and send the energy down, grounding into the earth. Send it all the way up to the universe for manifestation and creation. Palms touch hands, heart center. Filling the space with our mantra. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May I be filled with love. May all beings throughout time and space be happy, be healthy, be peaceful, be filled with love. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. All right. Awesome. Awesome job. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. It really is such an honor and a pleasure to guide you along this beautiful journey. And let me know what your favorite part about today was. I love to hear from you, or if you have any questions or anything like that, please leave those in the comments. I'd love to read them. And then also, if you've been following along with this challenge and you've been enjoying it so far, but you have not yet hit subscribe, please make sure that you do. So that way you never miss a new class or meditation, and it also really helps out the channel. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Same mat, new challenge. Namaste.